Hi, I'm Diane Hendricks and welcome to Fresh to Frozen and Back. This show is gonna make your life easier. In each episode, I'll show you how to prepare delicious and better for you meals, how to freeze them properly, and then bring them back to the table at a later date. This show is all about Idaho potatoes. I just love them. One 5-ounce potato has only about 110 calories, 2 times the potassium of a banana, and 3 times the vitamin C of an apple. How about that? Idaho potatoes are considered to be the most versatile vegetable in the produce aisle and are certified by the American Heart Association as a heart-healthy food. Idaho potatoes are naturally fat, sodium, gluten, and cholesterol-free, and one 5.2-ounce potato has only 110 calories. Look for the Grown in Idaho seal when purchasing potatoes. Idaho's growing season of warm days and cool nights, ample mountain-fed irrigation, and rich volcanic soil give Idaho potatoes their unique texture, taste, and dependable performance, and differentiate them from russet potatoes grown in other states. For recipes and information on Idaho potatoes, visit idahopotato.com. So the first thing I'm gonna make is Hasselback potatoes. The name Hasselback comes from a Swedish restaurant where it was first served, and I just love them. It gives such a beautiful presentation, and here's all you do. I'm gonna use this to help it kind of arch, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay, so I'll take, this is another use for your Chinese chopsticks that come with your takeout. So I'm gonna take 2 chopsticks and put them on, one on each side of the potato. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna keep me from cutting through the potato, so you get these beautiful slits that you'll see in a minute. So you're just gonna do about 1/8 of an inch slit. And what's happening is my knife is hitting the bottom of the chopstick, and it's not cutting directly through. So I'm gonna finish this, and the way I like to do it is I'll turn it now, and I'll kind of go this way, and then do it again. And if you happen to cut through, it's not a big deal, you just piece it together. It's all about the presentation for this. Okay, and you can do the slits as much as you want, but I like to do about 1/8 of an inch. And you can kind of whip through these. But the key is to keep these chopsticks nice and firm so that you don't cut through. So almost done. Just a couple more, watch your fingers. And that's it. If you don't have a chopstick, you can use a skewer, but don't use too thin of a skewer because it'll probably go through. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray this with olive oil spray, or you can drizzle it with olive oil, and you'll see we have these little slits that are all gonna open in the oven. It's really cool, and you can do anything with them. So I'm just gonna spray this with olive oil, extra virgin olive oil spray, I love it. Kind of rub it all over. And then I'm gonna take this piece that I cut off and put it on the baking sheet, and then just kind of set this on top of it. And what's gonna happen as it softens and it cooks, it's gonna form this arch that opens up the potato little slits that we just made. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick this in the oven, and I already have 2 in there that I did already. So you're gonna bake this in the oven for 30 minutes at 450, and then after 30 minutes, just go back and just drizzle some more olive oil on it, and then bake it for about another 30 minutes. It takes about an hour to get a baked potato cooked. Now here's the ones I've done, and then when they cook, they come out like this. So what I'm doing, you can do anything with them. It just makes such a really, really beautiful presentation. So what I'm doing is buffalo Hasselback potatoes, and this is it. So we're gonna take these, and I'm going to drizzle hot sauce, your favorite hot sauce. Let's put these back on the baking dish, because I'm gonna put these back in the oven. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna turn the oven off, and it's still warm in there, but after we're done with this, I'm just gonna pop it back in the oven that's been turned off but still warm, and it's just gonna kind of warm everything up together. So I'm gonna take your favorite hot sauce and drizzle it right on it, and you can even open up the slits a little bit so it gets in there. Depends on how much spice you like. I love heat. Those of you who watch this show know how much I love heat. Okay, and try to get into each of those crevices. Then I'm going to take some crumbled blue cheese and just put it on the top. You're gonna get a little bit on the baking dish, but that's okay, the baking sheet. And then even if you want, you can open up and shove it in there a little bit. It takes a second. Shove it into the little cracks and crevices. such a pretty presentation on a dinner plate when you're having company over. You just make these Hasselback potatoes. You can do it with lemon. You can do it any way that you like. All right, and let's get a little in here. All right. Then I'm gonna take some green onion, because I want that to warm up a little bit, and then I have some celery leaves that I'm gonna put after we take it back out of the oven. All right, so yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, so now I'm gonna pop these back in the oven. That's been turned off. And then when we come back, I'm gonna show you my Greek smashed fingerling potatoes. You don't wanna miss it. Okay, so let's get the Hasselback potatoes out of the oven. Oh my gosh, they are so delicious. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take them and just plate them for you. I think things look really nice on wooden boards. It's all the rage now is the wooden boards. I did an episode with all different types of food boards, from desserts to charcuterie. It's so cool. Now what I'm gonna do is just take a little bit of celery leaves, obviously goes great with buffalo. Looks really, really nice, and they're absolutely fabulous. Okay, so that's the Hasselback potatoes. We're gonna move on to Greek smashed potatoes, and here's all you do. Okay, so I'm gonna use these, all these versions of Idaho potatoes. I have some red ones that are really pretty. I wanna show you the inside. Look at the inside of these. They're beautiful, purple and white, and these are purple potatoes. And the American Institute of Cancer Research has recognized Idaho potatoes as a heart-healthy food. And the more color you have on your plate, the more nutrition you have on your plate. So here we've got pinks and purples and whites, and it's really, really nice. So look at that bright, like a yellowy white, really beautiful. Okay, so instead of having you watch me boil potatoes, you're gonna take these potatoes whole and boil them for 20 minutes until they're nice and soft and that a sharp knife pierces through them. I've done that already for you. So these are already done. Now these are smashed potatoes, not mashed potatoes. So you're gonna take a baking sheet and put your potatoes on the baking sheet. Now you can use a potato masher, you can use whatever you want, but the easiest thing that I find is a glass jar. So here's our celery leaves, let's get rid of them. A jar or a cup, it doesn't matter. And you're just gonna push down on them and just try to keep them intact. So you just kind of give it a little push, and once it starts to give, you're just smashing them down. The purple ones are so pretty. And you can see, it's just a smashed potato. These are so delicious. And you can use any flavor that you like, whatever type of topping that you want. What I did was to create this dish, what I did was I took the ingredients in my Greek orzo salad and said, you know what, let me put it on top of a potato. And it came out phenomenally. Okay, so this is it. So these are already cooked and smashed. And now what we're gonna do is just make a little dressing, and then we're gonna add some toppings. So let me set these here for a moment, and let's make a little dressing. So we're gonna start with a little bit of olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil, really good quality. Then lemon juice, lots of lemon juice. I love the lemony flavor on this. And if you have any left over, you can just use it as a salad dressing. Garlic, some oregano, dried oregano, finely chopped red onion, a nice pinch of salt, and a hefty pinch of pepper. And we're just gonna mix that all together. And we're just gonna pour that on top of these potatoes. So these potatoes are already cooked, as we know. So we're just gonna pour this on top of each potato, distribute it evenly. If you have a little left over, it's fine. Like I said, you make a salad dressing. But I don't think we're gonna have any leftovers. And make sure you use the parchment paper, because you don't want to be cleaning up all that little mess that's gonna be stuck to the bottom. Now we're gonna take these potatoes and put them in the oven and bake them for 15 minutes. And when we come back, I'm gonna show you how we garnish these, and then we're going to do potato coins with 3 different types of dips. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna take those smashed potatoes out of the oven. 15 minutes has gone by, oh my goodness. And all that sauce that we made is kind of drizzled in and infused into here, and now we just add our toppings. So what I'm gonna do is put some tomatoes, some diced tomatoes. This is all the stuff that's in my Greek orzo salad. I said, you know what, let me put them on these beautiful Idaho potatoes. Everybody in your family is gonna love these. Okay, so diced tomatoes, some feta cheese. This feta is beautiful. Just a little bit, or as much as you like. I love feta, crumbled. This is milky and creamy and yummy. Okay, we got feta cheese. We have Kalamata olives that have been chopped. So we're gonna do some chopped Kalamata olives. If you don't like olives, don't put them on. Oh, yum, 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 yum. And you can add more or less feta, olives, omit it, add something else. And then we're just gonna garnish this with a little bit. I'm gonna chop up some fresh parsley. Let's use every little bit of these olives. Yum, okay? And then we'll plate them. So we'll use another board. Everybody at your table is gonna love these. It's different, and because the center has been exposed, you get a little bit of a crunch. And this beautiful purple is so lovely. And you can arrange it however you like. And then everybody can take the one that they want. I don't know if it's gonna all fit, but we'll make it fit. This guy opened up like a flower. And then we have this here. And let's make room for the last but not least purple one. Get that feta back on top. And here. And you don't want to waste any of this stuff, so let's gather it all up and just put it on top. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to chop up just a little bit of parsley and make it a little garnish for it. You can use the stems too. A lot of flavor in the stems. And then for those of you who follow Fresh to Frozen and Back, I save all of my herb stems and keep them in a bag with all the ends of my vegetables, and then I will put them in a pot, add some water, and make my own vegetable stock with some spices. And then we'll just garnish it with some fresh parsley, which is definitely in a lot of Greek things. And there you have your Greek smashed potatoes. Fantastic. Okay. I'm not even gonna clean up. Let's just move on to the next thing. We're gonna make potato coins that have been roasted with 3 different types of dips. Very easy and really good. Okay, so we're gonna start with these potatoes here and a baking sheet. So we're gonna take the potatoes and slice them. And I have a little parsley on my knife, that's fine. We're gonna slice them in like 1/8 of an inch. Look at that color of these beautiful purple Idaho potatoes. And we've got the red ones that have that, look at that gorgeous pink inside. I love it. So pretty. Okay. And then we'll do a little bit of white, just to show you. You can make as many as you like, and these all freeze great, which we'll talk about at the end of the episode. Okay, so that's enough just to show you. And then we're gonna take a mixing bowl, throw the potatoes in, a little bit of olive oil, pinch of salt, pinch of pepper, and just kind of toss it around. Get all that on there. And then you can even add some garlic powder if you want, whatever, but I think the salt and pepper is fine because there's so many flavors in these 3 dips that you don't have to use for just potato coins. You're gonna use these for everything. Then we'll just lay that in an even layer in a baking sheet, pop them in the oven at 425 for 20 minutes, and then you're gonna flip them over and then bake them another 15 minutes, and you'll get a nice little crispy outside of them, and they're really good. So I'm gonna pop these in. And I've made some already for you. And now let's make some dips. Okay, so I have the food processor, and the first dip we're gonna make is a creamy avocado dip. There's like more than 20 nutrients in an avocado. I absolutely love them. And you get yourself a nice ripe avocado, you can put the whole thing in. And then we're gonna add some Greek yogurt or sour cream. All these recipes are on my website, dianehendricks.com, and you can check that out, it's really good. Basil and thyme. I have both of those herbs in another recipe that we're doing today. A little garlic, not too much garlic. A pinch of salt, pinch of pepper, some lemon juice, rice wine vinegar, and then we're gonna blend it up. To get the avocado to break down, sometimes see it didn't break down at first, so I pulsed it and now I can put it on. And as you know, I'm a side scraper, so I'll go in there and scrape down the sides. So we're gonna scrape it down, and then I'm gonna blend it one more time. It smells amazing. So you'll have a nice little texture to it and an awesome flavor. Okay. And I don't know if you know, but there's a hole in the bottom of the food processor, and you can hold onto the blade with that. And that helps to kind of keep it if you don't want to take the blade out. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this in here for now, but then I have some potato coins done, and we're gonna plate all 3 of these dips. So there we go. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. I'm gonna clean this blender up, and when we come back, I'm going to make a pimento cheese dip that is going to be your new go-to. I'll see you in a second. Okay, we're all cleaned up, and now we're going to make this pimento cheese dip. You can do this in a stand mixer. That's how I usually make it, in a stand mixer, but you can also do it in a food processor. If you use the stand mixer, you can put all the ingredients in together, but because we're using the food processor, I'm gonna process everything but the cheddar cheese and then fold that in. So it's so easy. We're gonna start with cream cheese and a little bit of mayo. And you can do the ratios as you like. I like a little bit more cream cheese than mayonnaise, but other people like it different ways. Jalapeno, as hot as you want it. You know how me, I'm gonna add a little extra, plus a little extra hot, either smoked paprika, or you can do crushed red pepper, or you don't have to use it at all if you don't want a lot of heat. Then I have onion powder, garlic powder, and a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and we have a roasted red pepper, or you can use a pimento. That's it. So we're gonna pulse first, and then we're gonna roll it. Perfect consistency. And this is gonna have a lot of texture from the pepper and the jalapeno. And then we're just gonna fold in with some cheddar cheese. This is a classic Southern dish. I actually use it in my catering quite often, and my guests love it. So we're gonna take this now, and I'm going to fold this into a bowl that I have of finely shredded sharp cheddar cheese. I love the sharp cheddar, not the mild stuff. Oh my gosh, just the combination of all these ingredients together, this is gonna literally be your go-to dip. This is probably one of my most popular dips in my catering. And then we'll just fold this all in together. And it's like cheesy and spicy and creamy. It's got and texture. Look at that. Oh. And that's it. It's as simple as that. And then I'm gonna put this in here, and then we're gonna plate it, and I'm gonna show you a nice presentation with your guests, or just you by the TV, with some crackers or some potato coins. Okay, and that's your pimento cheese dip. And I'm gonna clean this up, and for our final dip, I'm gonna do a sweet pea, lemon, and herb dip. Okay, last but not least, lemony and herby sweet pea dip. So what you can do with the peas is, these are frozen peas, and drop them into boiling water. I only do it for about 2 minutes to 3 minutes. If you boil them too long, they start to turn like an olive green and they lose this vibrant, bright green color, which means they lose some of its nutrition too. So we have this delicious sweet peas. This was one that just came out of the top of my head. Some lemon juice. You can always add more if we need it. Parmesan cheese, which I tend to add a little bit more at the end after I make it and taste it. A combination of basil, thyme, and parsley, but you can use all of your own fresh herbs that you like. A little Dijon mustard. Doesn't want to come out of here. Little Dijon, just a hit, like a half a teaspoon. And a little bit of garlic. I'm gonna use the same Dijon spoon, maybe I'll get a little extra on there. And then we're gonna blend that up, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil. I'm so short, I have to stand on my tippy toes to look in here. And this is coming out very slow, so it's not that much oil. Let's take a look at it. Let's see the consistency. Oh yeah, that has a nice texture to it. Now what I do sometimes is I have a very high-powered blender. So in batches, I will take this, put it in the blender, and then I get this super smooth dip. But sometimes I also leave it just like this. And I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt in there. You can always add more if you want. And that's good. Just remember, when it comes to salt, once it's in there, you can't get it out. You can always add more, so you want to taste. It's all about tasting. And then we're just gonna put this into a little ramekin, and that's the end of the dips. We're gonna put this in here, and then I'm gonna show you a nice, cute little presentation. It smells great. Look at that bright, bright, bright green. I love the color. Okay, now, I have some of those potato coins that are already done. So I just put them on this plate, and they're really just delicious, and everybody will love them. We're gonna take a little bit of dip and put it here. A little bit more, pile it up a little. I'll use 3 different spoons. And then we'll put the 2 green ones on the outside, so when you're plating, you kind of want to balance the color as well. So this is the creamy avocado dip. Then we have the pimento cheese dip, which goes really great with Ritz crackers. So we have this pimento cheese dip. And that's that. And then what I want to do on this, the Hasselback potatoes, is I want to drizzle a little extra of that hot sauce across the top. And these are your 3, look at that. So these are your 3 delicious recipes using Idaho potatoes: the Greek smashed potatoes, the Hasselback buffalo Hasselback potatoes, and your potato coins with 3 different dips. Now this is the avocado dip. It freezes beautifully. The pimento cheese dip, I've tried it, not a great freezer. I wouldn't freeze that, but I do freeze my cheddar cheese. So I keep my cheddar cheese in the freezer, and when I want it, I just take it out. So it's shredded already, it makes it very, very easy. The sweet pea dip freezes great. The Hasselback potatoes, this is the Hasselback potatoes. I have it in a plastic container, and then it's wrapped and sealed tightly with saran wrap, and then I just slide it into a Ziploc bag. And then these are the potato coins. These are frozen, labeled and dated, and then you take them out and you put them right back on the baking sheet, and you just stick them right in the oven at 325 for about 5 minutes. So everything here freezes beautifully. Thanks for watching Fresh to Frozen and Back. Please share this episode and recipes with those that you love. Follow me on social media. Check out my website, dianehendricks.com, and tune in next time to Fresh to Frozen and Back. And don't forget to check out IdahoPotatoes.com. Thanks.